Hey, what's up guys? So in this video we're going to be learning about how to extract our CSS files into a separate CSS file. Um, Basically right now all of our Sass and our CSS and all our post CSS and everything, it's all being injected into our JavaScript file. Um, and that's going to get kind of a little bit out of control because that's going to make our JavaScript file absolutely massive when we're done. And not to mention, it's going to take a lot longer for the CSS to load and everything, so it can slow down our performance when our pages are loaded on our apps. So what I'm going to show you is this extract text Webpack plugin. This is going to take all of our CSS, gather it all together, and stick it in a separate file and take it out of our JavaScript. So this is a plugin. So we're going to need to save this. So let's do yarn add -d extract text Webpack plugin. Okay. Again, the link's right here in the repo, exporting CSS to a separate file. And here's how we use it. Again, just following along with the documentation. There's a bunch of other options down here. I'm just going to keep it super simple though. And let me show you how we're going to do that. Go into our Webpack config, a new variable, call it extract text plugin, require extract. Okay, so now in order for us to use it, we're going to want to add it to our CSS. So let's do this. I'm just going to add it below here. I'm referencing the code on another screen so I don't screw it up too bad. So let's just do, we're going to tell it to use, and instead of using this array, we're going to use this plugin, extract text plugin, extract, okay, fallback, style loader, use, okay, so now we can just delete this. Okay, so instead of just having a plain old array, we need to use this plugin, and so we're telling it when you're processing this, you're going to use this plugin, and you're going to use use these loaders in order to process it. We're going to do the same thing for our SCSS file, so we can basically just copy this entire thing, go down here, replace it, but remember we have to tell it to use Sass too. Okay, and then we're going to need one more, I think it's after, yeah, modules. We're going to create one more key, let Webpack know the plugins that we're using. We're going to say new extract plugin, and then we're just going to give this a file name like that. So basically what this is doing, we're saying Webpack, we're using this plugin, it's called extract text plugin, and what this is saying you're going to rename the file once you export all that CSS out of our JavaScript. Here's what you're going to name it, styles.css. And then up here we're saying when you come across a CSS file, run it through the extract text plugin, and then the text plugin, we're telling that in order to process this, run it through style loader, CSS loader, post CSS loader, like we showed in previous videos. Same thing with our SCSS. We're using this plugin. We want you to process it using these loaders, Sass loader, style loader, post CSS loader, etc. So it's basically the same thing we did before, but now we're running it through this plugin that's going to take all that CSS and put it into its own file. So let's just do yarn run build. Okay, and so now you can see we have a styles.css, and here is our CSS. You're wondering why it's all minified and squished up like that. That's because we're using that post CSS plugin, CSS Nano, so it's running it through all of this stuff and then outputting it all into its own separate file. So now we can just take that, load that up like typically in our index.html, we would load it up in the head, load our bundle down underneath the body just before the closing body, and that's how you extract your CSS out of your JavaScript and put it in its own separate file.